First of all, the new record, the songs from Of White Lion, I feel with your voice now, it's more intense. Do you see the same?
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. The reason why I sometimes hesitate, because everybody says the same,
Yeah.
in a good way,
Yeah.
is that how can you say that about something you had success with 35 years ago and say, well, it's much better there because it's different.
It's different, yeah.
I'm sometimes surprised that I wrote these songs at that time and then now almost understand my own songs, which shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
And so that to me is the true reward, that I actually get the chance to do it one more time. And because the sonic audio of White Lion from the 80s don't really fit in today. Mm-hmm. I've been lucky that my audience have traveled with me. So they're not 35. My audience are 50 years old.
Yeah. Or more.
Or more, yeah. But it took a long time. Mm-hmm. It took a long time for me to decide this. I needed to find the reason why I was going to do it. You know, I have said in many interviews that I understand that since around 98 and 2009, I have visited White Lion a couple of times. Mm-hmm. Always for the wrong reason. Not really because I wanted, but more because something was suggesting business and stuff like that. I got offered a deal to do this Remembering White Lion album. Mm-hmm. Then in 2005, after the first 3 solo albums, I said, oh, you know, and I wasn't really having a lot of concert success.
I remember this one because we spoke at this time over this, because that was the time we want to record the songs new.
Yeah.
And you were searching for anybody, any venue for concerts too here in Germany. I remember.
Yeah. And so it was always. But the thing was, when I look back and I go in there, I see signs that it's only half of me. Mm-hmm. I'm not committed to it. And at the end, when I went in and recorded Return of the Pride and actually put it under White Lion, that album has nothing to do with what White Lion represents. Yeah. And this is just one of those things that has happened for a lot of bands. Oh, we'll use the name and, you know, we can tour and stuff like that. But it wasn't White Lion that I put together. Mm-hmm. I put my own version of UFO or Thin Lizzy together, stuff like that. And then, you know, I returned to my solo albums, and then, you know, Cobblestone Street and all the other, now 10 solo albums later. Every time I go on tour, promoter calls, are you playing White Lion? I say, yeah. It's not really a White Lion band that I'm touring with. Yeah. And then I start playing some White Lion songs, and I'm unhappy because if I gotta play White Lion songs, I gotta play them 100% White Lion.
Yeah. But you have now, for the record, Songs of White Lion, you have also a member from Freak of Nature, Markus Nant.
What, you know, who was a very young man when he came into the band and has grown, and we have talked about it a couple of times. And it, you know, a year ago, I asked him. I says, if I'm going to do this, I have to sing them in a different place. Mm-hmm. Can you play Vito Brada's guitar parts in a different key? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's basically like saying, we're going to play Mozart, but we're going to play it in another key, which is almost impossible because it, you know. So when he came back and says, I can do this. Mm-hmm. And we started doing the demos, and I started hearing my voice back. I says, this feels real and natural. I feel the voice is my face. Mm-hmm. It goes together. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm trying to run out on stage and be in MIKE TRAMP 1988. Yeah. Impossible.
The voice was totally other. Because when you hear now Cry for Freedom, it goes more inside.
Yeah. I've been waiting to sing both that and When the Children Cry for a long time. Yeah. you know, I had a big hit with When the Children Cry, but it's a young boy that sings the song.
But it's more, it goes deeply inside your soul.
Yeah, it's the even though I know that I wrote the words and what they meant, now I've lived the life, and here we are today. Like I sometimes say, you know, here we are. When the Children Cry was written for 2023.
Yeah.
And Cry for Freedom, yeah, well, everybody's still crying for freedom. I mean, it just, it would be different. If I had only been singing about beer, sex, and drugs, I would have been really difficult for me to go up on stage and look people in the eye.
But that's not you, because
no, it's not.
You have always, in your lyrics, you have always, they are very deep. You will say anything with your lyrics, for example, Cry for Freedom, or All the Fallen Men.
Yeah, Little Fighter,
You can put this songs also now in this time.
It's one of the things that, and of course, when you look back, you have all the answers.
Yeah.
It's like you know, the football player who looks at the video next day and says, I should have put the ball in the right corner. Yeah? When you look back, I see the battle that I was fighting, because the 80s in America wanted only party. Good stories, didn't want any serious, nobody wanted to do an interview being serious. And you know, I'd grown up in Denmark, you know, just like, you know, I knew there was a world. You know, a lot of the American fans just kind of knew where the town they were born in and nothing rest. So I always were fighting that battle with Cry for Freedom, you know, Broken Home, you know, Little Fighter. I says, I want to sing about something different. Yeah, but you know, look what Whitesnake Bon Jovi's doing. Yes, but it's not me. And now I get the reward back, that the words stand the test of time.
Yeah, but White Line was not your first band. Because,
no, it definitely wasn't.
Because before, the reason is, I like to speak with you over Mabel, you see now a little bit changing in the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, exactly.
You was 78, I think it was, 78 for Denmark in the song contest.
Yeah.
And now 2 years ago, I think it was Måneskin.
Yeah.
Lordi too.
Yeah.
And this year we have a German band called
I saw that too. Yeah, that's pretty heavy duty.
It's totally changing.
Yeah.
It comes from the people.
Of course, yeah. Well, the people have taken over.
Yeah.
Before it was sort of like the television and stuff like that doing and stuff like that. You know, they were the ones doing it.
Yeah.
And now it's the people make the choice. You saw that on the voting of Måneskin.
Yeah.
The second that it came to the people's votes, it was like that, and it's just like that. You know, the only thing you can say about everything is just you just hope that, you know, this, what I call the last stand of rock and roll, will remain, and people, because there's some of the big bands that are out there only for the money. And they're sort of destroying the legacy, you know, that, because, I mean, it's a different world, but rock and roll is the ultimate freedom. And it's artistic, and the second you just sell out with the backing tracks and stuff, like all this stuff, I just go, what happened? Where did it go wrong? Or even, you know, like a €300 concert tickets.
That's unbelievable, because when you see the concert tickets, for example, for Rolling Stones or Bon Jovi or any big bands, who the people, they go to this concert and don't have the money for the small bands.
No, well, that's exactly what happens.
Yes, only the big one.
We can only choose one concert a year. Okay, that's not the way it was supposed to be.
No, because we must give also the small bands a chance to grow.
It's the way it is, you know. You trim a forest and new trees will grow up. You cut the grass, new grass will come. It's called balance. And right now there's no balance in it. You know, it's greed and things like that.
But I think he was a little bit surprised, because I remember you played the whole time after Freak of Nature, also with Freak of Nature, for a small audition.
Oh yeah.
And now you have the big audition.
Yeah.
What was your feeling?
Well, it's kind of like bicycling. It's like, you know, you can put your bicycle away, but the second you ride it, it says, I haven't forgotten this. the trick is to bring yourself along. In you walk out on a stage, and not everybody knows who you are, and so and so. But the most important thing is that what Mike Tramp has become a man with both feet on the ground, a man that goes out and meets his fans or say hello to people, is even though on a big stage, try to still project that to the people that he's real and not somebody up there with glasses and mirror sunglasses and nobody can try to. That's to me will still be the more, and that's where I'm strongest and things like that. And of course, it's very nice to show up to a venue. You have a name on the room, and everything is on time and stuff like that. It's the total opposite of what I'm going to go over to do in America now. But the thing is, like, as long as you know where you are at the moment.
In America, in smaller venues.
Oh yeah. It's clubs. Yeah, of course.
Clubs,
Yeah. But that's also where I'm very much at home, because I like, very close and talking stories and stuff like that. And I'm also very realistic that what I'm part of right now is a unique situation. And my goal is not to come back on the big stage. My goal is just to be able to play music till I can't anymore.
And for people, they like it.
Yeah. Oh,
because
yeah,
it brings you more.
Of course, I have many different versions of a Mike Tramp show. That because I'm also trying to grow with how old I am and things like that. And even back in Denmark, I do shows just with piano, and it's just nice to have the variety.
Yeah. And you feel the reaction, you see the reaction from the audition, and that's important for.
Yeah, of course,
artists.
And I like to bring people into the journey and tell them the story. And sometimes when I'm up there telling the story, I go, wow, I'd forgotten about that, but suddenly it came out, and now I remember, man, I lived life, and I'm still here, and I'm still semi-healthy, and so. Hopefully, there's at least 10 good years. It's just a matter of placing you what you can do, because I will not do anything that I can't do. Not doing it for the money or something.
No,
I will only do something I'm proud of and can go out with a smile on my face. Because the other stuff doesn't work.
It brings you more, because when you do what you like to do or what it's possible for you.
Oh yeah.
It brings you more.
Yeah, I have met people where I can see it's not personal for them, it's business. And I'm really uncomfortable around that.
Yeah, we have enough from this.
I really,
we have enough from this bands. They are going on stage like this. And,
yeah, it's a difficult situation, because how can you say it in a nice way? I mean, I go this way, says, listen, I'm a big sports fan, and usually when a football player almost gets close to 30, he's taken off the field. And nobody's going to expect him in 5 years to come back. It's impossible. But rock and roll is,
it's possible.
Yeah.
How was your reaction now from the 10 shows? 9 shows. Today is the 10.
Really great.
Last.
But I also like to be part of the show.
Yeah.
I don't just go out and think what I'm doing. I like to be. It's been fantastic. The family, and like I posted this morning, I says there's still good people in rock and roll, and that's it. Almost means more to me, the feeling and the hope that there are people. So it's just a matter of you be what the good people are, and the rest they can go fuck off.
But America, you like to come on tour next time with the songs of White Line?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, this is. What this basically have led to, and is that I'm separating what I'm sort of calling my 3 things. You got the songs of White Line. It says what it is. You're not confused. He's not going to be playing any.
It's White Line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I have on the other side. Last year I released my first album in Danish, in my mother tongue, and that's a very special little thing that is so different. And
it's rock, or
it's like a vacation. No, it's all piano and. When I do this and I've done this for a little while, I'm hungry for white line over here. So I don't go tired.
But it's like a balance.
It's very important to have that balance. It's very important when you get home from a tour to take a break from everything and stuff like that. You know, it's just the way it is. It might not been that in '88, but now it is. It is. You know, it's the same thing with writing songs. I could write a lot of songs, and I'm always very inspired. I don't need a lot of help to write them, but I also need to have a reason to write them, because there's a lot of music out there, and you know, it's, you know, don't just want to write them for myself. I like them to you know, say, okay, now I'm doing an album for people and things like that in the future. So yeah, you know, I mean, it's a, you know, we're going to be doing festivals in the summer. We got 2 festivals in Spain, for example. We got, you know, legendären in Alicante, and we got one in Burgos, and then we got Rasmus Fest in France, and we got one in Glam Slam in Belgium, and we got the indoors in Summer Festival in Hamburg, and you know.
I think it's 11th of August.
Legendären. Yeah, because we're playing Denmark the day before, so, and we got Sweden Rock here the June 9th.
When it's possible to buy a day ticket, I come over. And we're already now working on 24. So 23 is a year to build this idea, and people will see that this is a real thing. The only white line show in the world. Yeah, but it's good that you are back in the business, because it was a long time that you not be on the road, and also last record was, I think, also a couple of years ago, no?
Yeah, 2019. Yeah. I mean, those 2 Corona years really took a big part out of people's life. It threw you off. It's just like, where are we in life? Where are we in time? What happened? My kids grew older, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I know it was a hard time, the 3 years now, and I'm happy that it's over, close to over.
Yeah. What a mess.